All right, good afternoon, everybody. Adam Crossley here, CEO of Fairoaks IT. We're about to dive into another one of our bite-sized trainings. Want to thank you for joining. As usual, always fun to get together and learn something new in the world of IT and how to be more efficient. So that's why we're here. And today's topic is sort of a revisit, or definitely a revisit, or 2.0 or a 201 class, if you will, on Microsoft Copilot. And if you were on our last Copilot session, you probably remember that I tried to jam quite a lot into our 15-minute session. And one of the things that I didn't have enough time to cover that I really wanted to was using something called an agent within Microsoft Copilot. So we're actually going to dive into that today, and I'll spare you the explanation of what that means and just dive into it because it truly is a very cool thing that hopefully, once you learn a little bit about it today, will make your day more efficient and save you some time. So let's go ahead and dive into that. And again, today's session here is just going to be the 15 minutes as usual. And that's our style. Get you in to something quick here so you can learn something quick and hopefully go use it. And obviously, after this today's webinar, if you have any questions, just feel free to reach out. So we're going to start on the Copilot landing page. And for those of you who don't know how to get there, it's quite simply just copilot.microsoft.com. Once you sign in, this is what your landing page looks like. You guys, I'm sure, know Copilot is Microsoft's answer to ChatGPT. Just to reiterate that from what I said last time, ChatGPT, Claude, all these AI tools out there. And again, to reiterate, Copilot also integrates with the entire Microsoft ecosystem. So it can look at your emails, your calendar, etc. So, but today specifically, and most of you probably know how to use AI by now, we're going to actually create something called an agent in Copilot. And this agent is going to help you with a certain task. And really what the agent is going to be doing is you can pretend like instead of hiring someone to do a job, I'm going to create an agent to do the job. And I'm going to show you what that means in a second here. So we're going to dive right in. We're going to go into the agent section here, into the section called All Agents. And I'm going to create a new agent. So I'm just going to dive right into doing that. And right here, let's hypothetically say that I want to create an agent that is going to help me, let's say, market our services, Fairoaks IT services. So I want an agent that's going to help us with marketing. So cool social media stuff to come up with. What's the next webinar we should do? What cool trade shows should we go to? You name it. I'm going to create an agent that's going to be my person that I can talk to about, hey, what do you think about this? Give me some ideas for this, maybe marketing related. Again, this hypothetical example I'm going to walk you through. So what I'm going to do is start answering its questions. Microsoft is really good at making wizards. This is like one of those wizards that you may have been used to back in the day. And it's going to ask you questions along the way for us creating this agent here. First question it's saying is describe what your agent, what you want your agent to do. And I've got some things over here I've already typed out so I can spare you my terrible typing skills. I'm going to paste them in here. So I'm going to start out by saying, hey, my company sells IT and cybersecurity services. I need an agent to help me market those services. I'm just going to go ahead and press enter there. Give Copilot a second to think. And it's going to actually, in the background, start to design the baseline of the agent that I can now use in the future to help me with these marketing tasks. As that's thinking, it looks like it just finished. I do want to say that these agents can do anything. Let's say you run a manufacturing facility and you need help with demand planning and analysis. Well, you can go in here and say that. I run a manufacturing facility and I need help with my demand planning and analysis. Now, all of a sudden, you've got a demand planning agent similar to an employee that might be able to help you, right? You can load company-specific information into it because it's a Microsoft ecosystem product. You don't have to worry about your company info getting out there because it's within your tenant. So all cool things. But again, in this example, we're going to make a marketing agent. That's what we're doing here. So yeah, it's so you're saying right now, hey, I suggest we name it IT and cybersecurity marketing assistant. I'm just going to say, yes, that sounds good. let it go ahead and name itself that. You'll notice on the right here in just a second, it's going to change its name to that, IT and Cybersecurity Marketing Assistant. Again, just give it a second there. And as that thinks, again, the goal here is to make your day easier and more efficient. So that's what we're doing here. Now it's saying, hey, what specific tasks or goals do you want the agent to achieve? Well, that's actually a good question. Maybe I don't know the answer to that. Maybe I need a little help figuring that out. Now, as I was designing this webinar for you guys, what I was actually going to do is take one of our real life old marketing assistant job postings that we've posted in the past, and I was going to paste that in here. But I said to myself, well, let's just use Copilot to come up with what that job description should be. So I'm actually going to use Copilot to answer Copilot's question here, which is what specific tasks or goals do you want the agent to achieve? Okay. So I'm going to go over here. I'm going to start a web Copilot session, and I'm going to paste in that exact prompt. I own an IT and cybersecurity services company. I'm creating an agent. Help me with my marketing efforts. Can you create a list of responsibilities that this agent should do for me? So here it goes. I'm using Copilot to help answer Copilot's question. It is going through its mass of knowledge and coming up with the things that it thinks an AI agent should be able to help with. So you can read some of the things here, very cool. All I'm going to do now is copy this. Okay, this is the cool part. I'm not doing any thinking right now. I'm going to paste that in, press enter, and I'm now telling the agent design wizard here what I want the agent to do using the output that I got from Copilot itself over here. So very cool. It's going to do some thinking again. Give it a second. After that, it's going to ask a few more follow-up questions, and then we'll actually be able to use the agent, which is pretty neat. So again, letting it do its thing here. I've given it quite a lot of information. It's thanked us for providing such a detailed list of tasks and goals. How polite. Now let's move on to the next step. Would you like your agent to use any specific public websites as knowledge sources? Well, yes, I think so. So we're going to go ahead and ask Copilot that same question. So I have a sentence ready to go over here. I'm going to tell Copilot thank you for the information it gave us, and I'm going to ask it if there are any other publicly available sources that it thinks we should use. Now, I want to force it to use my company website because that's full of great information. Believe it or not, I also want to force it to use Reddit. If any of you have never been to reddit.com, check it out. It is a huge community of people who are interested in all sorts of different things, and there are different things called subreddits where people talk about the latest and greatest in whatever category it is. So you can find a lot of real human feedback on Reddit. So I always like to feed, believe it or not, that into my references as well. Now, I'm just going to take this list now. I'm going to copy that back over to here. I'm going to answer its question with that list, just like that. It's going to do its thinking. And while it's thinking there, again, you could feed this any website you want. But again, I've just used Copilot to come up with that list. So very cool. And then, it didn't ask us this question right now, but generally it's good to give AI limitations. You don't want AI you want to try to control it to some degree, okay? So I'm actually going to ask Copilot again over here in a separate tab, what limitations should I give the agent here? And I'm just going to look through this list to see if there's anything I might want to to add. So I could pick things out here, come back up here and say something like, please use the following limitations to limit what you give me. But I'm not going to do that right now in this example. I'm just going to say that we're all set there. And what we can do now is just tell it no more changes. Thank you. Tell it that. Let it do its thing. Give it a second here. Just make sure it doesn't have any more questions, because every time you do this, it is a little different depending on what it gives you. And once that's done its thinking, we're just going to go ahead and create the agent. We can even try out what the agent might say to us over here and make tweaks. Okay, so You could ask something like, what is our unique selling proposition? USP. You guys probably know what USP is if you work in a company, right? It's going to go ahead and actually, it's not going to answer me because it's thinking over here. We're going to go ahead and create the agent right now, though. Let it do its thing. It's actually coming up with, it looks like it grabbed one of our clients' reviews on our website. That's interesting. So we're going to go to the agent. And we can now use the agent. So let's say a real world example here. We've got the agent. We can say something like, can you please come up with 12 social media posts I can post once a month? Question mark. And we can start there. So it's going to go ahead just like a real live human being marketing assistant, and it's going to go find and think about what you might want to post to social media. So here's a great list, soup starter of those things. Very, very neat. It's going to come up with all of that. You can just copy and paste this after some review, and now you've got a whole year's worth of social media. You can ask it, hey, you want to go maybe go to some industry events. You can ask it that. What trade shows should I go to this year to market our services? Question mark. And you can have it develop a list of trade shows that you should go to, maybe to learn more about your environment or where you can sell. Very, very neat, very powerful. And again, this kind of research could take you hours, right? And here's the list. It could have taken you an hour or two to come up with your social media posts for the year. But again, now you've done it. All sorts of really, really neat things that you can do here. And then you can create other agents on top of that. Again, examples like manufacturer demand planning and analysis, or maybe you work as a CPA. You want to make an agent that can review trends in tax law, for example. Well, you can do that. It's just a huge time saver. And again, the agent's goal, unlike just regular Copilot or regular ChatGPT, is to be one of your employees, basically. It's to be a resource for you that is specifically programmed to do a certain thing and help you out. So we're going to end a little early today. That's the end of what I wanted to show you as how to create that agent. Hopefully you learned something. If you've got a Copilot license, go try this out. It's very neat. If you have any questions about it, feel free to reach out to me as usual. And again, hopefully you learned something, and hopefully this will save you some time in your day-to-day. So that's going to be it for today. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time. Thanks so much. Bye.